What is good, YouTube? Welcome to my channel once again. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in the video. Now, as you guys already see on the screen, these are the rewards for the all-time spotlight challenges that people have been doing. If you didn't know, literally on the 1st of June, every day of June there was a spotlight challenge that was being released. So literally every single day there was a new challenge. And once we get to June 30th, the reward for completing all those challenges is one of these three. You get to pick one of these three players. You get to pick Endgame Kevin Durant, Endgame Bill Russell, and also Endgame Paolo Banchero. So in this video, I'm basically going to be advising you guys on which card you should really pick for your team and which card is the best out of these three. Now, don't get it twisted, they're all really good cards. Endgame Kevin Durant is really good. Because if you didn't know, Endgames are basically cards that are 99 everything, have every badge in the game Hall of Fame, and they have all the best animations. So all of these cards are going to be really good. But in this video, I'm gonna be just giving you some advice on which is really the best card and which card you should pick for your team. So now, before we start getting into talking about the different cards, let me show you the challenges that you had to do. So basically, as I explained earlier, so you see these all-time Rockets, all-time Lakers. So basically, there was a challenge for every single team, all 30 teams in the NBA, and they came out every single day of June on the 30 days of June. So if you were a person like me who basically kept up with all the players, then on Friday you're gonna get a free end game. So basically, literally, as the days were coming, every single day there was a new challenge. So every single day you would complete the challenge, and every challenge usually takes like around like 45 minutes, so it really isn't a too long grind. Now, if you did not do these challenges, as like you didn't, let's say you did not start these challenges at all, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a really long grind because you have to do all 30 challenges, and they each take like 45 minutes. So that's gonna take, I don't even know, just multiply 45 times 30 and you'll get the amount of minutes that you're going to be spending on doing all these challenges. So if you didn't start this, I guess it's kind of worth it because you still get a free end game, which is end game is one of the best cards in the whole game. But it's going to take you a little bit of time. Honestly, it's going to take you like a good like 20 to 30 hours at least, I'm not gonna lie. But if you were a person like me who kept up with all the challenges as the day progressed, of course I missed some days, but in other days, I would catch up. I would do 2 a day maybe, or just catch up on what I missed. So as you guys can see, I'm already I caught up mostly, but then there was a new challenge that came out today, the Rockets, and I still need to finish the Jazz and the Hawks. So yeah guys, let's now start heading into talking about each one of these cards. So as we go look at the end games, the first player I'm gonna talk about is Endgame Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, if you don't know, I mentioned this already earlier, but Endgame cards are basically cards with every single badge in the game Hall of Fame, every stat 99, and they have all the best animations in the game. So basically, all of these cards are going to be pretty similar when it comes to animations and their attributes. They're all going to be literally perfect cards. So what the factors you get to put into it is their height and their position that they play. So as we're starting off with Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant is 6'10", right? He's 6'10", and he could play shooting guard, which being 6'10" at shooting guard is a really tall height for a shooting guard. And he's also like one of the best dribblers, shooters. Obviously, he's a perfect card. So being 6'10" at that shooting guard is really what puts Kevin Durant at a very high pedestal over the other players. Second card was going to be Endgame Paolo Banchero. Now Paolo Banchero, he is 6'10" and he plays small forward, power forward. So he's basically the same height as KD, but KD plays shooting guard and Paolo Banchero only plays small forward and power forward, which I'm not gonna lie, that puts Paolo Banchero's value a little bit down. I'm not gonna lie, because we have small forwards in the game that are taller than Paolo Banchero. Even there's an invincible Victor Wembanyama who's 7'5" that could play small forward. So if you put Paolo Banchero up against another small forward who's taller than him, then he's probably going to get babied. Invincible Victor Wembanyama is going to baby Paolo Banchero because he's taller at the small forward position. Now the last card that I'm gonna talk about, he's not in 2K, so I'm just put up the picture again, and the last card is gonna be Endgame, of course, Endgame Bill Russell. Now Endgame Bill Russell they gave him literally power forward and center eligibility. So he's not going to be able to play small forward at all, which I wish they did, because that would have made this card way better. Now, Bill Russell is 6'10". He's literally the same height as KD and Paolo Banchero, and he's 6'10", and he only plays power forward and center, which at this point of my team, that is really short to be at power forward and center, because we got players like, of course, Victor Wembanyama, we got players like Taco Fall, Yao Ming, Mark Eaton, players all that are way taller than Bill Russell. So putting Bill Russell at power forward or center is really going to make Bill Russell kind of a liability, because he's not tall. Like, he cannot compete with the taller centers and power forwards in the whole game. Now that I gave you guys some information on these 3 endgame players, of course they're all basically going to be kind of similar, because they all have the best animations, all have all the best attributes, and they have literally every badge in the game Hall of Fame. So they're all basically going to be basically the same player. So as I mentioned earlier, you have to put their height and their position into factor. So now I'm gonna list which cards I think is going to be from best to worst. So for the number 1 player that in my opinion is the best player out of these 3 cards, is going to be Endgame Kevin Durant. Now I think a lot of people are going to agree with me with this, because obviously Kevin Durant is 6'10", and he could play shooting guard. So basically being 6'10" at shooting guard is really tough for the position, and Kevin Durant has all the best animations in the game. He's literally perfect. So Kevin Durant is going to be the number 1, because he's the tallest and he plays like the shortest position, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, like, there's not a lot of shooting guards that are 7 foot, rather than there is a lot of power forwards and center that are like 7 foot and even up, like 7'6", 7'5". So Kevin Durant is going to be the number 1 option that a lot of people are going to pick, because he's honestly, obviously the best player. But let's say you have Kevin Durant, endgame Kevin Durant already, or for some reason, let's say you just hate Kevin Durant with a passion, then the second best player would be Paolo Banchero. Now Paolo Banchero, the reason is because he's 6'10", and he can play small forward. So, I mean, there's taller small forwards, so that's why Paolo Banchero isn't number 1, because let's say Invincible Victor Wembanyama, he's 7'5", could play small forward. So if you put Invincible Victor Wembanyama against Paolo Banchero, he's gonna get babied, honestly, because he's just too short. He's 6'10" at the small forward, and there's taller small forwards in the game other than KD at the shooting guard. He's 6'10" at the shooting guard, and there really isn't that many shooting guards that are tall or taller than KD, which is 6'10". So I would put Paolo Banchero as the second best player out of this set. So for example, if you already have endgame KD, then the second best player that you guys should pick is endgame Paolo Banchero. Now for the last card, and obviously if you do process of elimination, you're going to know that the last player is going to be at 3rd place is going to be endgame Bill Russell. Now I don't want to say worse, because he's still really good, he's still a really good card, but when it comes to these 3 players, he is the worst player out of these 3 players. The reason being is because they all have the same animation, so they're basically going to be all the same players, but it's just his height and his position. So he's 6'10", and he can only play power forward and center. And in the game, there's so many power forwards and centers that are 7'3", 7'4", 7'5". So like Bill Russell, 9 times out of 10, if you go into unlimited, you're going to see a taller power forward or center than Bill Russell. So that's why I put Bill Russell at the last place, because he's going to get he is undersized for that position, so he's going to get babied a lot when it comes to playing other people in the game. So Bill Russell is going to be the worst player out of these 3, but don't get it twisted, he's still going to be a very good card. So let's say you already have endgame Kevin Durant and you already have endgame Paolo Banchero, then obviously you would pick endgame Bill Russell. So yeah guys, that was pretty much it for the video. All of these players are really good. I really thank 2K for giving us this, because this is a really great reward. If you have been keeping up with the spotlight challenges and doing them every day of June, then you're gonna get yourself a free endgame, which is crazy. I don't think 2K has given us something this good in a while. Like this season has been really good when it comes to rewards and stuff like that. But anyways guys, that was pretty much it for the video. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, as it supports my channel, man. And I appreciate all you guys watching, for real, man. But anyways, that was it. I hope you enjoyed again. and I'll see you guys on my next one. Peace.